Building multi-agent systems directly in JavaScript, that's have been a dream for many full-stack developers, including me, especially after seeing the power of Python libraries in this space. In this video, I am going to try to make this dream come to reality. We will be using free APIs like Gemini from Google to build a multi-agent system using Next.js and connect it to the web using Tivoli and leveraging Kaiban.js, a library inspired by Crow AI for agent orchestration. I will guide you step by step through this process, all at zero cost. So let's get started. Let's talk about Kaiban.js before we start using it. This framework is developed and designed for JavaScript developer to create and integrate AI agent within their applications. It tries to fill the gap in the market. Most of the AI framework primarily created to Python, leaving JavaScript developer without anything good except LangChain.js. The main feature of the Kaiban.js library is JavaScript native framework. It has something called Kaiban board. It's a visual tool that it's like project management tool like Trello and Jira, but it's created for management of the AI workflow. Kaiban have role-based agent design like Crow AI. As I said, as you can see here, there is multiple agent. This role is resume writer and this one is profile analysis. So as you can see, there is multiple agent with different roles. It's really easy to integrate it with any major front-end framework like React, Vue, Angular, or Next.js. Both the back end and the front end allowing us to be very flexible when we use it in development. It have a really good state management inspired by Redux architecture, which already have been using it a lot in React. It supports integration with multiple different tools, enhance the capability of the AI agent. We can use it with the LangChain community library or any other library that we want, and it makes our life extremely easy. And I'm gonna show you an example of this when we're creating the agents. That's enough talk about the library that we're going to use. Let's start building our own project. You can use what you want in terms of library. You can create it with Express or, for example, Vet. I'm gonna use Next.js, the latest version. But from what I have seen using it, in order to make the front end better, you have to downgrade the React version and stay away from Tailwind. Start to creating your next project and name it what you want. I don't need JavaScript. I don't want Tailwind CSS, believe it or not. And no router, yes. And no for turbo back. And finally, no changing in the alias. And let it download. After a project have been created, you can use any editor that you want. Cursor, OneServe, Visual Studio Code, or whatever. Open it. As you can see here right now, we in React 19 RC, which the latest version basically supported by Next.js. I need to downgrade it to the 18 version. Why I'm doing this? In order to the front end to work correctly, I need to downgrade it to the 18 version because I'm going to use React Markdown, basically that will handle rendering the text that is coming back from the API. And now let's install the library that I'm going to use in this project. The first thing that we need is of course Kaiban.js. Then the LangChain community, because I need it to create a tool to search the web for us. Not 100% needed, but just install it in case if anything went wrong. We need .env. And for the front end, we need React icons, React Markdown to render the back end results, and Pro as a plugin for the React Markdown, and Remark GFM was also a plugin for React Markdown. Let's hit enter and let them install inside our project. Now after it's installed, run npm run dev and you will find the project running at localhost 3000. This is what the project will look like right now, but we're gonna change everything inside it. Before we start writing a single line of code, we need to get our API keys first. I'm gonna stick to the free stuff so everyone can follow me. We're gonna need the Tivoli API key and the Google API key. In Tivoli Search, go ahead and log in or create an account using Google or GitHub. Tivoli Search give us 1000 free API requests per month. So if you're using it to basically play around, I don't think that you're gonna get over 1000 requests. You can over there create a new API key or get the one that you already have inside the dashboard. Copy it from here and save it inside .env. The second API key, we're gonna get it from aistudio.google.com. There you can get an API key for free. From this button, get the API key, and there you can create a new one or basically copy the one that you already have into the .env file. And now we're ready to write our first line of code. Inside the app folder, create a new folder called the API, and inside it, a new route is gonna be named agents. You can call it whatever what you want. Honestly, it doesn't matter. And inside it, we're gonna create the regular file for the API route.js. And inside it, we're gonna create our agent, our tasks, and our entire team. The first thing that we need to import from Kaiban.js is the agent and the tasks and the team. It's really easy to start with. From language chain community, we're gonna need to import the Tivoli search results. We're gonna use the Tivoli search result to talk to Google API to search the web and get information from it. And finally, we're gonna need to import the next response from next server. And now we are ready to write our own logic. And if you're wondering how the autocomplete is working, I have a tool that I talked about before in one of my videos called Copilot Arena, which is this one over here. It's for free. You can use it. It's really good at auto-completion. It's completely free and it have multiple models inside it like Cloud 3.5, Sonnet, the Gemini, the Quinn, the GPT-4o. It's really good. I made a video about it. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for it. First, let's define the search tool that we're gonna use to search the agent. It's basically a simple tool that will search the web for us. The Tivoli search results take two parameters. The first one, the number of max results that you want to get. The more you put, the more the information that you can give to the large language model to create the blog that you want or the article. The second one is the API key, which already we have inside .env file. By default, the new version of Next.js access the .env file in the backend without using .env. But if anything went wrong, you can use .env to import your keys inside the backend. Now we can start to create the first agent that we will have. The first agent that we're going to create is the research agent that will handle talking to the web. The first thing that you need to give an agent is a name. This name should be unique. I give it a name of Adam over here. The second thing that we need to give is the rule. What the agent will do for us is the role for it. We have here new researcher. Basically, that's what's going to do. Search the web for us. Then we're going to give it the goal, find and summarize the latest news on a given topic. It's really easy to do that. You can basically put more information inside the goal and make it more detailed. Then we have to give it a background. The background is a prompt. Here it's an experience in data analysis and an information gathering. It's a really simple prompt, but it will do fine. Then we're gonna give it the tools. The tools is an array of the function that we have that we want to give it to the agent. The only tool that I created is over here, the search tool, the Tivoli search results, and I'm gonna give it into this array. By default, every single agent created by Kaiban.js use OpenAI large language model, and it will search for a key for OpenAI. But I don't want to use the OpenAI models. Maybe I want to use DeepSeek models or the Quinn models or maybe Claudia or Gemini. It's really easy and straightforward. You have to give it something called large language model configuration. And inside it, you have to pass the provider, the model that you want to use, and the API key for this provider. We already have the Google API key stored inside the .env file that we have. And with that, we have our first agent inside our team ready to be used. The second agent that we have is a writer agent. This agent will have a Kai as a name. The role is content creator. It will create an engaging blog post based on the provided information. The background is skilled in writing and content creation. And of course, I will give it the same large language model. You can actually use different model. Now we are done with creating the agents inside our team. We need to create something called tasks. The task will be given to different agent, and based on the task description and expected output, the agent will try to get it done. Let's try to create the first task. It's researching the web. This new task have a title, and the title will be the latest news research, and it have also a description. This description will basically take the topic from the team. I'm gonna create the team in just a few minutes, and it will basically search the web for the latest news on this topic. And the expected output is basically the final result that you want to get from this agent. And I want a summary of the latest news and the key points on the given topic that I'm going to give it to the task. And finally, we need to give it the name of the agent that the task will be assigned to. The agent for research task is going to be the research agent. This is really simple so far. I mean, like, it's very similar to Crow AI method of creating agent or basically teams. The second task I have here is the writing task. Is gonna be named blog post writing, and the description will write a blog post about topic based on the provided research. The expected output should be a blog post summarizing the latest news on the topic in the markdown format. And the agent for that is the writer agent that we created over here. And now we are ready to create the final part of our team, is the team itself. We're gonna call it the blog team. This new team will take a name. I'm gonna call it the AI news blogging team, and the agents that it will take is just an array of the agent that we just created, and the writer agent also. And tasks is the same thing, an array of the tasks that we created. And now the team is ready to be used. I mean, like, it have been very easy so far. There is nothing challenging about this multi-agent system. But right now we have to use it inside our API. So let's create a simple API that will return information from the web and summarize it using the large language model that we provided in a get endpoint. Here I have created a simple get end API point just for the sake of this tutorial. Maybe in your project it have to be post endpoint, not a get point. And we're gonna search the parameters for something called the topic that we want to search for. If I didn't have any topics inside my URL, I will search for large language model and AI in general, and I put it inside try and catch block to handle the coming errors. And now we need to invoke or basically start our block team. It's really easy. You have to wait the block team to finish processing the information that it have, and we just have to say start and give it the topic that we want to talk about, or basically the topic that we want to search the web and create the blog post for. Here I give it the same name, topic, and topic. It will handle itself. And if it didn't find the topic inside the URL, it will automatically search for this. And with this, we kind of ready to use this block team. The team that we created have different status inside it. The one that we are searching for is output status equal finished. It means that the team is done processing the information and ready to give us the final output. The Kaiban team agents have different status value. The one that I just used is over here is called finished. There is also blocked and errored and stopped and running and initial. You can use this kind of stuff to send the UI an update based on what is going on in the API. Here I'm basically saying if the output is finished done processing the post that I want, just return the next response output results. You can also actually see the entire status if you just remove the results. It will give you more information about the output. And if it didn't have the finished status, we can send an error or basically failed status, unable to generate the blog post. If something went wrong, and instead of we got finished, maybe we got blocked or errored, we will basically have an error handler over there. So let's test it out in terms of URL before we go ahead and build the front end. When I went ahead to try the URL that we just created, I found that it got me an error in Tivoli search results. The importing is wrong. So we can fix it by just accessing the correct path for the tool inside the community inside Tivoli search. And let's see if this will work. All right, it did work. Here it gave me an output, a large language model, and AI because I didn't give it any topics to search for. And it did give us a decent blog post that is slightly smaller than I expected, but it did work. So let's do it one more time, creating a topic in the URL. I'm gonna give it DeepSeek R1, which is a model that I created a video about the last week. A very good model, alternative for O1. It's really good. I did video about it last week. And let's see how it will work. As you can see here, if you open the console or your terminal, you will find that there is a lot of stuff is going on. It's initializing the team that we created and displaying every single step of the agent, what is happening for it. Here it started by Adam agent, which is searching, syncing, and after it's syncing, it's done. And here it uses the tool that we give it to. And the agent Adam start to syncing again. And after it's done, I don't know what is basically observing. It gives us the final answer. And the task for it is complete. Now it say the status it changed to done for the first agent. And right now it's one of two tasks is done. And it will give all this information that it got to the second agent. And that will handle the blog post writing. And it do the same thing, syncing and syncing. And it was faster. And here the final answer for the Kai or the post writer task is complete, and it basically print out the entire, and it finally printed out the information about the model that I searched for, DeepSeek R1 light preview, and basically that is the output that we got. So far, so good, so easy. Right now, we want to create a front end, even if we don't really have to. I mean, like I already gave you how the API for it did work. But I wanted to show you the entire picture of the how to build a system agent from the back to the front. If you actually went to the Kaiban.js documentation, you will find an example using Next.js and AI agent tutorial. It's not that bad, actually, it's really good. But the thing that made me don't want to use it, it's using the AI agent in the front end and it's putting the large language model and the Tivoli API key in the public Next.js, which is a little bit worrying me because I don't want to set any API key for public unless it's not that important. And it's using the entire blog team that we just created something similar to in the front end of the app. So it's not an API actually. So this is why I build it as an API. I feel like the API have more power and more flexibility. It can be connected to different things, like for example, desktop app or a mobile app or maybe a front end, or maybe you're building a microservices using it. Now we're done with the API. We can create our front end page. I'm going to create a new folder. We can call it agents. I don't know, maybe blog team. And inside it, I'm going to create a new file called page.jsx. And here I'm going to use, of course, use client so I don't get any issues. And I have to import multiple stuff over here. The first thing is the React Markdown to render the coming blog. And we can see it normally. The second thing is use state from React and the plugins that I installed that will work with the React Markdown. And this is the few icons that I'm going to use from the React icons. This page will have multiple states inside it. The first one is the topic that we're going to search for. The second one is the blog post that we will get from the API. And we can actually send back also the search result from Tivoli search, but I am not going to do that. You can do that. Actually, it's extremely easy. And we need a state that show us if the API is loading or not. And finally, a state that will show us if there is any error or not. We have to create a simple just a function to handle the entering the topic from the input and also handling the response that we will get from the API. I created a simple function called generate blog post. It will first make sure that we have a topic to send to the API. We're going to set every single state at the start. The loading will be for true, a blog post is empty, and the error is null. And we're going to use the simple fetch to talk to the API we created. It's not agent, it's agents. And we're gonna give it the topic, and the topic will be from the topic that we will have inside our input. And the method is get, and the header is the application JSON. And we're gonna parse the coming back response and put the blog post inside the blog post status. And if any error went wrong, we're gonna set fail to generate blog post and catch error if something went wrong. And finally, we're gonna set is loading to false after everything is done. And this is basically the final UI that I have created using Klein. You can use anything like DeepSeek, for example. The R1 Lite will help you to create the UI that you have. And this is basically how it will work. You can set here, let's say, search for DeepSeek R1 model, and you can hit enter or press the generate button. It will show you a loading status of the current API, basically syncing and working. And voila, it will give you this nice formatted blog post that you can take and copy, put it inside anywhere that you want. And I don't want you to worry about the UI because I'm gonna give you the entire code down below. Go ahead and download it. There is a few things that I had to modify. For example, formatting the blog post because it came back ugly format, so I had to modify it a little bit using Klein actually. And the UI is really simple, just a few lines of code in HTML. And I have here CSS page for styling the entire thing. You can actually add more for the UI. I have here section that is not basically showing for the search result if you wanted to return the search result from the API, which I'm going to leave the code for it also inside the repo in case if you wanted to use it. Usually I do videos about coding assistant and reviewing new models and test it and give my honest opinion about whatever tool that I'm reviewing. But I just want to ask you, the people that first time watching me and the people watching me every single time, if you like to see more of this kind of videos, but with more complex scenario like handle PDF files or connecting an agent to an Ocean database or working with embeddings and basically building a RAG or agents without relying on libraries. Let me know down below in the comments if you like this kind of content because I can make more of it. I feel like focusing only on the new stuff and the new models and the new coding assistant is really good for coding productivity and basically making ourselves faster and better in terms of creating project. But it's not adding a new knowledge to you for how to create a better and using AI in a good way. So I really wish if you found this video respecting your time and providing you with valuable information, please hit the like down below and subscribe to my channel and write a solid comment for the algorithm. If you don't think you don't have anything to say, just put the emoji down below. And if you have something to say about this project or you want to see more like it or you have a certain request, let me know down below. I'm gonna try to make every single week at least one of this video if you guys like it. So thank you for watching and thank you for all the people that subscribing and giving me encouragement down below in the comment. You are the reason that I'm trying to create better content for you guys. Thank you for watching and see you in the coming video.